constitutional responsibility as members of Congress to put forth a resolution as the Constitution requires to either authorize the use of force or not. And this is what we should be doing in Congress right now tonight.
Can I bring up one other issue from this part of the world? In Pakistan this week, the High Court in Lahore, I guess it's like their federal court, right below the Supreme Court, ruled that a woman who spoke dirty, I guess, blasphemed the Prophet, should be put to death. She was arguing with another woman. It was on The Real Housewives of Karachi. Do you watch it? And so, you know, so this is going to go to their Supreme Court, but this is the court right below the Supreme Court. And, you know, this is not a blogger. This is not a mob in the street. This is a very high court in Pakistan said a woman said a bad thing about the Prophet, and now she must die. So, yeah, Sam Harris and I were way off on that.
Yeah, well, no, you know where the law comes from. You know where that law comes from?
The Quran?
No, it comes from the 1980s when...
Well, originally...
Hang on. Pakistan was not founded as a state that was going to do that. It was, but in the 1980s, Zia al-Haq changed the constitution to introduce Sharia at the heart of the Pakistani state. So let's be careful about the history about this. It's one thing to take on, hang on, it's one thing to take on a religion. It's one thing to take on a religion. The other thing is to take on the people who are abusing the religion, and those are two very different things.
Right. Well, and but if that's popular with the people, they're not that different.
How many times have you been to Pakistan?
Never.
Right.
And nor will I.
There are well, you should go to Pakistan. There are
really?
Yes, because there are tens of millions of people in that country who are watching TV shows, who are going into higher education, who are actually the future of that country. It's 180 million people now. You know it's going to become 300 million people. It doesn't need to be a tinderbox with a nuclear weapon.
When they open up a lesbian art gallery, I'll go there.
I'll find the address for you.
How about that? All right.
Pakistan is also, it should be said, is also the author of the single largest massacre of Muslims since the Second World War in Bangladesh. It is a state that was founded on the very idea that South Asian people of one faith cannot live in the same country as South Asian, but people, your government had a little hand.
Most of the problems my predecessors were...
But just understand, when you talk about this kind of persecution, this is not happening in Indonesia. This is not happening to anything like this extent in Malaysia. This is this kind of sectarian, brutal show. This is very much a Pakistan problem, and it has a lot to do with the way that country was set up and the reasons by which its elite carved it out of India.
Right. It's all just about Pakistan. All right. Thank you very much. Time to go to New Rules.